Okay, so I'm going to work with gradients on the grasshopper here. So you can see what I've done now is I have this shape, which was one of those shapes I drew previous class. And if I pull this away, you can see it's got a dark green, and it goes to medium green and a yellow. So right here, there's the dark green, medium green, and yellow. And I could go in there and adjust those, maybe pull out the yellow a little bit, looking at what I've got going on here. And then I've got this piece that is a solid, and that is a transparent color, and it's working pretty well over top of that. So I don't think I need to necessarily make everything a gradient. I think that's working nicely with this. Okay, so here you see I've done an eyeball. So I've got an eyeball here, and there's the eye that also has a gradient. So I am going to, when it gets small, you can very easily move those dots. So if you have trouble, you can go over and get the solid arrow. That will help you to be able to move things around. So I am going to use my pen tool to trace this other eyeball here. Okay, there I go. Manipulating that a little bit. Okay, so now if I want to select a gradient, I'll go over and select the gradient tool, click here, and so I have this on a radiating gradient, which seems to be a nice option for, this rounded shape, but I need to not have such a bright spot of a ball in there. So I can pull back here, or I can pull that dark away, and I can play with these levels here. So that helps me moving that around. Getting this dot in the middle between the two colors helps to get the gradient as soft as possible. The other thing that I can do is I can also change some of the angling around that. And changing the circle a bit. So you see the way it's getting a little bit squished, a little squattier. And now I think I need to pull back on this dark color. And I'm just feeling my way through this. I don't have all the answers. I think maybe what I want to do actually is add another spot of yellow. I think that might help pull back on that dark color and pull that yellow into there more. Oops, I ended up getting another dark spot. I'm going to go in here to play with the colors on this as well. So if I double click, and I should be able to go click instead of the, get the palette so I can go and make little changes within here. That will help me too. Bump up that yellow and soften some of this other colors going on here, and then pull this back. I'm actually surprised that I'm having as much challenge with this color as I am. Pull it all the way to the edge. I think that will help. Okay, so let me look at that compared to the eyeball. So that's not so bad. This one looks quite a bit different than that other one there. And I'm using this as my guide, which is throwing me off. But this is going to work. So I'm going to show you another thing that I can add to help make that work. Actually, you know what? Let me make this white. Let me see how that works. I'm going to click the white there. And switch this up. Actually, I think that could work a bit. Yeah. It seems to be working. And then I'm going to change the angle a little bit there. Whoops. I think I need 45. That's kind of working for me. I'll pull this back a little. And maybe this white is too white. I'll add a little yellow in there and a little black. Okay. So, you know, do I really need to replicate this eyeball? Somebody's going to know that it's an eyeball, whether I've got the exact correct light on there too. So I don't want you to drive yourself bonkers trying to figure this out. I want you to get a sensitivity to it. So I'm drawing an oval now, and I'm going to use my tools to grab. Notice I use the eyedropper to grab from the other one. I'm trying to zoom in here a little bit so I can grab, get the rotation tool if I get there. I'm going to click the gradation of this, get a good dark black in the center. Rotate these two. I'm going to bring the black over here and the white over there, and rotate that a little bit more and pull this behind there and pull that a little bit more in there. And that's pretty good. So when I zoom out, it looks better. Ends up looking better than this one over here. So good. So now